So, what do we have here, Bruce?
Well, these are the loin lamb chops, and these are going to become Moroccan lamb chops. This is a really nice, kind of a spicy, very Middle Eastern type of flavor. Lamb is really big in the Middle East. Muslims, they can't eat pork. That's one of the things. Hindus, they can't eat pork as well. Lamb is very big. Lamb is not just the stuff that gyros are made out of. They also make, what is that, shish kebab. Traditionally, shish kebab is supposed to be lamb.
Yep.
One more thing, lamb is like veal. It's a young sheep. When it gets older, it's very strong and it becomes mutton. Mutton is big in England, and what do the English know about food?
Woo! Hey!
Anyway,
We're sorry, Your
yes,
Majesty.
down in I was saying down in the south, usually they barbecue things, but some of the churches down south have barbecue pits, and their specialty is mutton, barbecued mutton, because they can get it very inexpensively, because mutton does not sell well in America. You know, in Europe it does, down in Australia it does. These lamb chops, by the way, came from Australia. They have a giant sheep industry down there. And the little rib chops I got, those are American lamb. And usually these are twice as much as the rib chops, but right now these were the same price. I got to get Izzy on that and find, you know, working on all this other stuff.
Go, Izzy, go.
Anyway, one of the other things I noticed over at Dino's, they got these big bottles of spice for like not a lot of money. And I found them to be very fresh and very good. And this is like such a great way of buying it. Because usually for like $3.99 you get one of these little puny things from Durkee. So, Dino's, go baby. Well, we have breadcrumbs here, about a cup or so. We have cumin and red pepper here, cayenne pepper, about a teaspoon of each. We're going to mix them up here.
Now, are these going to be spicy?
Well, they can be spicy if you want them to be a little, it has a little edge to it. But if you want to increase the edge, put in 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. You can adjust it like that. Now, we have garlic. This is the pre-crushed garlic. I like it because it's so much easier to work with. Yeah. You just double it, actually, from what the recipe calls for, because it does lose a little bit of its vitality when it's already cut up.
Now, how much? What was that? About a tablespoon of garlic?
Yeah, about 2 cloves, 2 cloves. Now we just put. See, right now it's a little dry looking, so we're going to add a little bit of olive oil.
That's like the oil can from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Okay, and this is just to make it a little bit moist so it sticks together a little bit. Now you can see this is a lot like my recipe for stuffed artichokes. The artichoke stuff is very similar to that. We'll probably be doing that in another show. Yeah. Okay, yeah, just to make it crumbly like that. Now what we're going to do, we're not going to cook it under the broiler, we're going to be baking these.
Now, what's the difference?
Well, broiler is, the flame is on the top and it's like grilling almost. Baking them is just, it's a warm place that they're going in. It has to be baked at like 500 degrees. It's pretty hot. So, we're going to get these and we're going to put them in there and we're going to press to coat it, make sure it's all over it. You know, get this stuff right in there, just like that.
Okay, so these don't need to go in egg or anything like that, like
just
chicken?
Just like that, yeah.
It smells very good.
Yeah, and you know, you can do these on your grill too.
Really?
Yeah. If you have a top shelf on your grill, you want to keep it away from the flame, and do it on the top shelf so it's away from the flame. And same time, about 15 minutes on the grill. If you're using the regular, this will work with the regular rib chops, but because they're so much thinner, all you have to do is about maybe 8 minutes or 9 minutes for that. Timing is very important because lamb, you can really overdo it very quickly. Lamb, you can eat a little bit rare. It's not a problem. It's wonderful.
I've seen some recipes that almost rare is the correct way to eat lamb.
Yeah.
I don't know how safe that is, though.
Some will say rare is the correct way to eat anything.
Yeah,
you can
I
actually,
like mine mooing on the plate, my steak.
What do they say? Cut off his antlers, wipe his ass, and send him on in. Walk him through a hot room and send him on in.
Oh, good God. Okay. All right. Boy, these do look very nice.
Okay, these are ready to go on. Now you can give them a little sprinkle of paprika or something like that, but they're just fine the way they are. Right, what's the next step? Wow, the potatoes really thickened up nicely already.
Yeah, and that's
oh boy,
barely half of it, and you can just get a delicate hint of the garlic. That's why it's good to leave it whole like that, because you just want to add a little sprinkling of flavor rather than like garlic potatoes. So
that's something to be said for garlic potatoes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Not au gratin, though.
Now this is ready for the oven, but until we put it in our dish, first we're going to add a 1/4 cup of Gruyere cheese.
Gruyere.
That's in the Swiss family. It's a very rich cheese, very smooth.
That's
And
stuff with the red wax on the outside?
sometimes, no, that's
Gouda?
yeah, something. And this is a 1/2 cup of Parmesan. Parmigiano Reggiano. There, I said it. Okay. Now we are just going to combine this up.
Now again, you got to be very careful because potatoes are really fragile.
Yes, they're very.
What do they
they're
say in Italian? Fragile.
Fragile. It must be Italian. Boy, I'm just like multilingual today. Okay, now into our baking dish.
Now I noticed you sprayed the dish with Pam. So
Yes.
It won't stick.
Yes, that's just to ensure, you know, you get every bit of goodness with this.
Oh boy.
I've already picked out the garlic cloves, by the way.
The garlic bombs are not
The
there.
garlic bombs have been, what's that called when they disable?
Neutralized.
Neutralized, yes. Is it the red wire or the black wire? I don't know.
I'll cut both.
So, okay, now we just want to shake this around, settle our slices. Okay, no, you're not licking the spoon.
Oh.
And the final topping, we're going to sprinkle it with some very finely grated Gruyere cheese. You want to get it as fine as possible because, as I mentioned, this is a very heavy cheese. And if you just grate it or shred it in like mozzarella, it's just going to lift off of the potatoes. Whereas here, because it's finely done, it's going to adhere and blend in, and as well as, you know, create a nice little sensational topping here.
Gruyere melts so nicely.
Oh, it really, really does. Not my favorite choice for cheese and crackers, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'd much prefer a Swiss or a sharp cheddar.
I have a recipe for a lobster macaroni and cheese, if you can imagine that.
Ooh,
It's
I
like
can imagine that.
a
very
real
easily.
a departure on a regular macaroni and cheese. It's kind of comfort food with a flair for the rich.
Oh, anything with lobster in it is fine with me. So now we're ready for the oven. We're going to pop this into a 400-degree preheated oven until the potatoes are tender. You'll see the topping gets a little golden. And I'll figure about 40 to 50 minutes.
Now, one of the things we try to do here is to show you how to cook a meal, start to finish, everything in real time. The oven is going to be 400 degrees. For the chops, it's going to be 500 degrees. So as soon as that's done, it comes out and it's just, we're going to boost up the oven to 400. We're going to pop the chops in. Right now, we're going to do some Brussels sprouts. It's not a horrible thing that your mother makes you eat anymore. Just
It's
wait till
really
you try these.
good.